I hope you fucking trolls are proud of yourself, you piece of shit.
Hello, Miss Tina. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Well, all right. Am I good? I don't know.
You're
It
good. So,
sucks. Yeah, I'm good.
what's going on?
Ernie's not though. It makes me sad. So
Do you know where he's at, Tina, at all?
all I know is he's in Dalton, and I was trying to get this girl in Chattanooga who's an Uber driver to go get him, and when he put the link out, he wasn't letting anybody up. It was weird. And
Yeah.
so I pulled out an old computer that he used while he was here.
Mhm.
And thankfully, the StreamYard was saved. When I went on StreamYard, it said enter studio. So I entered the studio, and, Ernie can be talked out of these things. You have to be really careful not to use like trigger words like, the whole chat was going nuts using the word kill. And I know they didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Um, but I was in the other live, and this is before I pulled out the old computer on the other page, the reality,
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I was in there, and I was asking people in the chat to please, stop using the trigger words, even though you're saying something that you think means well. When people are in those kinds of states, they only see, highlighted words, and it makes the situation worse.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
so,
tried talking to him, and he let me up for a few minutes, and then
yeah.
Shopify
Oops,
online
sorry.
store has some amazing new features that give you the flexibility to make
Yeah. So, and so I did go up. He didn't pull me up. And, I thought maybe if he saw my face and that, but he just like bugged out and took me out. And even though I was in his StreamYard, he took me out. So I didn't really feel like it was my right or I had permission at that point to do anything else. I'm not a mod. I don't have control of the chat. I didn't block anybody. I didn't do anything. I was just trying to help. So,
have y'all had a falling out or something?
yeah, we don't agree with his new team members. He doesn't know them real life. I mean, he met them. The one he did meet, then he got invited to an elite party, and everybody saw that, and totally out of his element and stuff. And I started doing a little research on who the elite celebrities were at the party, and we're not amused or entertained. Let's just say that.
So he needs to be back with you all or at home one, Tina.
Ernie needs to get off YouTube. Ernie needs to stop wanting to be a celebrity, because that's not how any of this ever began. Yes, we were making a movie. Really, what Xander and I wanted was more of a reality TV show where, not only did we meet up predators, but, have someone filming us doing the deep dives so that people would learn how to do the deep dives and stuff like that. But Dalton was all about making, a horror movie. So we were like, well, let's compromise. Let's do both. Let's film the good stuff, and then, it'll be a spinoff of the whatever horror movie you're wanting to make. Make pedos suffer again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Too many innocent kids and families are victims in horror movies. Not enough pedos.
Right.
That's what we thought. So.
Yeah. So,
anyways,
how did he end up in Georgia?
I have no idea. We have not talked to Ernie. And we saw him. Well, the last time we saw him was when he went to Lisa's the first time. And then, we were still talking to him and stuff then. But Ernie doesn't like us telling him things that we find out about new friends that he has or new connections, because, we would vet them, because we really do have a team, and there are some very professional team members on our team. Right. And everyone was advising him, that he was getting himself into trouble. And we did not, we didn't want to be a part of it because it wasn't the original, mission statement. So,
does he have to stay now?
Do what?
I know he was staying with you, but does he have anywhere to stay now?
I have no clue. The only time I've seen him since he left here originally to go to Lisa's, is he pulled in and he wanted his hat because Rose kept demanding that he had his hat back. And so he wanted to wear it for his celebrity party, and he was late for the celebrity party. So he
Like
pulled
real
in.
celebrities?
I mean, yeah, you should look up his celebrity party people. They're the one that he was promoting for everybody to go like his page and stuff like that. I went to his Instagram and stuff, and his YouTube. And on his YouTube, there were he had maybe like 100, that he had subbed to, and I counted no less than 10 of the famous people that he had subbed to that had been to Epstein Island, and 3 of the people that he had subbed to, of course, they're celebrities and famous and musicians and stuff like that, actually had to do with Pizzagate. And so I was just like, hell no, we're not okay with this.
Was
And he
he?
doesn't.
Sorry.
What? No, go
Was
ahead.
he in Georgia? Was he in Georgia with Tiffany, his ex?
I'm wondering if he was with Tiffany, and I don't know what that whole like porn film role that she had on, the post that she made on Facebook. I don't know if that was Ernie or not, but I know that the trolls were saying that because there was a kid in the film role that,
Oh,
yeah,
what? I didn't know nothing about that.
yeah, Tiffany made some post, congratulations, her kid's having a baby. And what it was is, she had screenshot a picture, and it was, of her kid or whatever. But then at the bottom, there were multiple photographs, like in little squares. And so, you know how these trolls do, they examine everything to the detail. And there was like some family pictures or whatever. And then I guess there was someone, that had their penis in their hand. And then there was another one where it looked like someone was engaged in sex. But you
She
can't
posted
really.
it on YouTube?
No, she posted it on Facebook. And that's why I was saying it was a setup, because, how could anybody post something like that and not notice that, you have some porn in your family roll down there?
I don't even know anything
Yeah.
about that. I didn't know anything about that. So
Yeah.
Ernie needs to. He don't need to be with his mental state right now. And I'm not diagnosing him or nothing. I'm just saying he's not well. In my opinion, he's not well. He
Yeah.
needs to be with people that take care of him and be good to him. You know
Oh,
what I
I
mean?
agree. He needs people that aren't blowing smoke up his ass and always trying to convince him that people that care about him are not his friends and they're bad people. Convince him to try to throw his whole team under the bus, which he did 3 times, and the team said, "We're done." Like, you can't, throw everybody on the bus and tell us you're pretending and you're playing a tactic without consent from the team. Like, we're not okay with that. And so we weren't okay with that. And that was that, so.
Do you think he would go back with you all?
I'm not sure that he needs to be with us right now. He needs something. We care for him and we don't want anything bad to happen to him, but
Right. I don't either.
Going through the process that we went through, the reason Ernie was here to begin with, and everybody just doesn't understand why he was even here, is because he had been having those episodes. And I am an alternative healer. I don't practice or charge people or anything like that. But at one time for years, I did have a license and worked with some really amazing high-tech natural healers in the past. And I have equipment, like transducers, which actually send sound waves through the body. and it can actually help with all kinds of problems, especially neurological problems. And I've studied herbology and nutrition for probably like 26 years.
You know,
We're very healthy people.
you
And
know what, Tina, and I don't know if Ernie has this or not. I don't want to get in his business like that, but he could probably get some kind of help, like, state help within, to help him financially and with his medical bills and stuff like that. He would probably qualify for that. You know what I mean?
he would qualify for that, but whoever these mystery important people are that he says is always watching the chats and stuff like that, I'm not sure that they're not just the scam artists. And I do know that a lot of law enforcement are friends with Ernie.
Oh yeah.
And he does have a lot of connections. I'm just not convinced anymore that the ones that are advising him are on the right side of things.
Somebody said that some of the trolls were calling Shelby the nothing, and it triggered Ernie in chat. They was calling the nothing.
Yeah, that's when I started, trying to tell people, look, I know you think your comment means well, stop triggering him. You can't do that. Ernie did very well with sound therapy. I mean, anybody who knows him knows that me and Xander are the long-term champions of keeping Ernie off the side of the damn highway.
Yeah.
Okay. And, everybody wants to turn this around. Oh, Tina did it. Tina did it. No, Tina and Xander saved his life.
Now I've been there for him for sure, and probably need to be there for him again. I mean, because he seems to take up to you guys like family. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and in times that he hasn't stayed with us, he's stayed with other people that are like family to us that take care of him. The thing about it is if he isn't going to do doctor help, if he's not going to do meds, he has to do things to take care of himself. Okay. Yeah. You can't just, go and, to some natural retreat or something like that, for a couple months or a rehab center or whatever, and come out and then just go back to doing what you do and expect that you're not going to get the same results that took you to the place to begin with.
Right. But it would have to take a family member of his, and I hate to say that, to get him help. And
his family, I mean, we try, but he has to help himself. Right. Right. He can't just eat fast food and just run and run and run. And these comments that people do to him are toxic, whether he realizes it or not, or anyone else realizes that words have power, and I mean, there's spells. That's why they're called spelling. And just allowing all this abuse is very taxing on the subconscious mind, even if he thinks he's consciously strong enough to bear with it and handle it. And, we're letting these people show who they are and this and that. It becomes very unhealthy, Well,
he needs to, I mean, I'm not trying to diagnose or anything like that, but he needs people around him that, I mean, he don't need to stir off from people he don't know. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's all it takes. You can tell when Ernie's about to go there. He gets that whole different facial expression. He just gets this look about him, and he needs people that can see that it's happening and be like, hey man, let's go to the creek. Huh? What? You want to go to the creek? Let's go to the creek. And stuff like that. I mean, it really is all about changing, the perspective and sometimes even the environment. And he'll just snap right out of it. Hey man, you got to drink some water. You're dehydrated.
That's what I thought. Huda said, as a mental health counselor, I believe he needs psychiatric evaluation therapy. We need to be mindful and get him into therapy. Does he get therapy, Tina?
He has to do these things himself. People can say that all day long. He has to take responsibility for hhis own mental health in one way or another. If he's scared of doctors, then there are natural things, but he has to do them. And it's like people have said, oh, they were giving him these gummies. The gummies that he was being given are made by a truly amazing, respectable person who is part of healing communities. And it wasn't even CBD. It was lion's mane and cordyceps. Okay. And because he won't eat the taste of anything that doesn't please him. And those sounds that you heard, like him going, that's like what he does when something gets in his mouth. He can't even swallow it if he doesn't like the taste of it, Yeah. And so, it really, that's why I called him the man child. It really is like, okay, here you go. Here's your turmeric. Here's your lion's mane. And, y'all go look up lion's mane mushroom and cordyceps. I have to say that lion's mane and cordyceps, like, made a phenomenal difference in the amount of time that he would go before he would, start to get that look about him. But I mean, Dan and I we were always successful at pulling him right out of it. And then he'd be great. And he'd be motivated and he was fired up and he was positive and all these things. But, people just don't want to let him,
he seemed to do well with you guys. He really did. And now it's just kind of like it's come and going a lot more than what it had been.
Right.
And I feel bad for him. I wished I could help him. I wonder if he has anybody to go down there and get him. Does he have a way home or?
I have no idea. And he's not answering our calls because I don't know. Either he's been convinced that we're the bad guys by his new team. They talk massive amounts of crap about us all the time. And,
but you guys would have been right there with him, and
I mean, we're surely not going to let him, die on the side of the road or get tased.
I really was scared they was going to try to shoot him. I mean, you never know.
I know. Well, it's weird. I think people are actually driving him to this point and
try to shoot him. I mean, you never know.
I know. Well, it's weird. I think people are actually driving him to this point, and I'll bet you anything that his new team becomes the hero, and then they capitalize on a lawsuit is what's going to happen. I mean, a lot of these people see Ernie as big money, and they're targeting him, and they like to exploit people.
That's
and it's a shame.
That is awful.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to read. A lot of people are concerned. A lot of people love Ernie. Ernie don't realize a lot of people really do care for him, and this has made a lot of people sad.
It's awful. He is a lovable guy. He does have a big heart. And people want to talk about the lies and stuff like that. Well, I mean, Ernie really has people that he believes in that play tactics, and they have this plan, and trust the plan. It's ridiculous. The plan never goes as Ernie thinks it will.
It was heartbreaking. He was wanting my number, but I could not put it out there with 900 people. They, and I wanted to get back up on his back chat. Jinkies, my sister, has his phone number, but she wasn't answering my phone calls. But
I mean, that's smart of you. I wouldn't even send it to his private messages because his new team has control over it. The one that said, I've been helping Ernie for months, helping get him separated from anybody who would spend 3 days in a car or, do anything to help him in a crisis.
Is Ernie kind of homeless, Tina?
Yeah, he's totally homeless.
That's sad.
So his, his mom and stuff, but I mean, that's not a good place for him either.
No, he doesn't. Well, he has family up there, but I don't know how stable it is,
Yeah.
I need to get me a Google number. I do. I need to. But usually people call me on Facebook. So a lot of people will add me on Facebook and call me from there. I don't care for Ernie to have my number. Ernie knows who I am. It's just, I don't want the rest of the world to have my number. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It broke my heart.
No, it is. I mean, it breaks my heart. I mean, I'm really mad and disappointed in him because, I just don't feel like he's on the right path, but I'm not his handler. I'm not his keeper. And, you can't make anybody do anything, right. And if it affects them negatively, if you, are talking to him about the things that you see, then it's do what? No, I'm not on. No, I'm on someone else's life. No.
Somebody just posted something I didn't post.
I didn't do anything. Really?
Yeah.
Are they being mean?
No.
People are getting hacked. We are getting hacked all the time. I did not send that.
I don't know who it is.
Hey, Huda, thank you. He should not be alone. It can trigger a lot. Absolutely. I agree, Huda. Thank you for that super sticker.
Oh, you're on live?
Yeah, I'm on a live.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Sorry.
It's okay.
Weird stuff happens to us in the hacking world. And that's a real thing. Everybody has been getting hacked. And and it's actually done some damage on our team side. Oh, it's too loud out here. But anyways, that is why we were able to get in touch with higher levels of the FBI thanks to the hacking. So that's a positive.
That's crazy. Yeah. I've never met such evil in my life. And
so they're evil.
There's a lot of nice people on here, but there's also a lot of evil as well.
For
somebody like Ernie who suffers with PTSD and stuff, That's not healthy for him at all.
No, it isn't. And I'm glad you care about him and you're out here putting out a good video about him. You know, it's like everybody went live, you know, Ernie Shell. So, you know, we've been working actually really hard. We have actually found some really disgusting, awful predators, thanks to some of the trolls and looking into them. And we have been handing things over to the FBI. There really is an investigation. And I don't know if, you know, the people that are directing Ernie, you know, on this crazy train, you know, because I mean, obvious it's increasing, you know, and if he had a good support team, that wouldn't be happening. You know, our team, the first time he threw our team under the bus, I mean, it was heartbreaking for a lot of them, you know, and, you know, I didn't really care because modding for Ernie is like a full-time job that you don't get paid for.
Yeah.
You know,
He's a site.
yeah. I mean, and it's like if you constantly unblock everybody, you know, that we've all blocked. I mean, to me, it's spiritually and emotionally draining to have to redo it. You know, it just sucks because
it does.
the people in Ernie's chats are super, super cruel, you know,
Yeah.
and they don't know us. And all these trolls, they talk about our kids, you know, they talk about our businesses, and
That's just the devil's what it is. The devil.
I think they have demonic attachments. Absolutely.
Jimbo, I'll put that link out there for you. Okay. Absolutely. You got to rebuke that devil's what I'll do.
Yeah.
To hurt somebody like that, like I mean, my heart just goes out to him. I mean, he needs family. He needs you all. He needs Jimbo. He needs people around him like that knows him and that he's familiar with, and not somebody that's going to leave him on the side of the road to get him far or shot or anything.
We tried to convince him to like get an apartment or something and go back to work in Gatlinburg or, you know, one of the areas to where we could go get him if he was in and try to be his friend. I don't think this road life, you know, is healthy for him for a lot of reasons, you know, or just be somewhere, anywhere, get a job somewhere where somebody who knows how to talk you through it and get you out of it. On the live that I was on, he was almost coming out of it when I started reminding him of last year's 4th of July, because it was the funnest 4th of July ever. And there's a hilarious video that my daughter has of Ernie lighting a sparkler, and it's just hilarious. You got to see it, but she has it in slow motion, and he waited too long, and it looked like a war scene, and it was all coming down on Ernie, and he was running through the gravel, and he was tripping, but you know, like tripping, almost falling down because his feet were slipping. And it's a funny video, and we all had great laughs after it. And you know, I almost got him to recall something that makes him, you know, like happy, and that helps a lot.
I think he does. Somebody put that they think he may need a court-appointed guardian, and I agree. Hello, Ziggy V. I agree. Maybe because he could actually get help, Tina.
Well, you know, he has a pastor who does talk to him, and he advised him to give power of attorney over to Xander. And then he was like, "Are y'all wanting to control me?" And we're like, "No, Ernie, we're not trying to control you. But, you know, things are happening that, you know, you may need somebody who actually cares, who doesn't want to exploit you or take advantage of you. And, you know, is always looking out for your, you know, your best interests." So.
Right. I mean, and he seems to be doing really well with you guys and not having these episodes. But since you all have not been in the picture, it seems like he's been having these episodes a lot more than usual. You know what I mean? Like in the last month, he's had these episodes.
Well, it's because he does have problems that are part of his brain and neurological. And people want to make fun of me for saying he has a chip in his brain. He told me that. And he put the EMF detector to the top of his head and it went off. I don't know how, you know, anybody else would feel about that, but it would explain a lot, you know.
Somebody had a chip in his head.
Well, I mean, you'll see, you know, even Jimbo has a clip from way back where Ernie was talking about being a part of some experimental stuff, you know, and going through experimental, you know, body changes and things like that. Right. And I mean, it's no secret. They do that. I mean, look up Neuralink. They've been doing it for a while, but usually the chips are for like if someone's paralyzed or something like that, you know, and Neuralink puts a chip in the brain to activate impulses and things like that. It's really weird technology that no one wants to talk about. So it's not completely like sci-fi or unbelievable that he may have volunteered to be a test subject to something, you know. I don't know if that's true anymore. I don't know, but why am I going to not believe him when I know the technology exists and I know they do those kinds of things? And there is a government super soldier program. So
you never know about the government, in my opinion.
Oh, I know.
I know. You know, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. I forgot what I was going to say. It went blank. Sorry. People
That's
said
okay.
police should have handled it better. I wish they would have acted that aggressive in Texas. Yeah, I mean, it would.